everyone, I hope you're all doing well and taking care, and welcome to this brand new Doctor Who video on the channel. So for today's video, I am going to be doing a video just on basically how I actually got into Doctor Who in the first place, because if you watch my channel, you will know, of course, I am a big fan of this show called Doctor Who. And yeah, in today's video, I'm just going to be kind of giving my reasons for how I actually got into the show, the Doctor Who universe itself. The following clip, though, is from an actual new podcast that I've just started doing with another YouTuber you might know, a Whotuber, known as Go Doctor Who. And yeah, we have started a podcast together called The Whovian's Guide to the Galaxy. So we have got our own YouTube channel, so I would appreciate it if you do end up enjoying this little bit of a video, if you go and check out the full episode over there and subscribe. It would really help us out. We're very new to podcasting, so any advice as well would be appreciated. But yeah, today I'm just going to share a little bit of a clip from that first episode where we discuss how we actually started watching Doctor Who in the first place.
Yeah.
I guess the next question would be, the next question, is that your cat there, I'm guessing?
I have two cats, one's down and one's on the desk at the moment. This is, yeah, crazy. They're both kittens, so.
One in the podcast. But I guess another question would be, how did you get into Doctor Who? So how did you kind of get into the Doctor Who universe?
Basically, my granddad, so I was like 6 years old. We have a disc actually, and he used to record them and basically make it for himself. And it's a god damn it. Take two. So yeah, my granddad got me into it when I was 6. Yeah, he was like, "Oh, watch this. Tell me when the adverts at the end and the start are on," and I cut it and make it my own disc. And basically, I just sat there, watched it because my granddad was busy. And I enjoyed it. I was like, Doctor Who, what's that? And then boom, Cyberman 2-parter, Rose and 10, trapped in a parallel universe, Cyberman coming towards them. It's just, that indicates just where I started. And I loved it ever since. So yeah.
I'm literally the exact same. So my granddad, my grandpapa, he was a big fan of Doctor Who growing up, back in classic Doctor Who. And I remember when the show came back in 2005, I remember him telling my mum to put it on for me because he thought I would like Doctor Who, and that's how I kind of got into it. I remember it was back in 2005 when Rose first aired. My mum put it on the television. My grandpapa wasn't there, but my mum was, and we watched it together. And basically since then, I've been hooked. I just think Doctor Who is an incredible show, and it's kind of been there since I grew up, and I've kind of just, even to this day, it's still my favourite TV show out there.
It's incredible. And yeah, that's crazy that we have the same sort of, in a way, the same person as such would just, get us involved. That's crazy.
Yeah, a lot of people like that. They always say it's through their family, it's kind of passed on. And so what was it about Doctor Who that kind of attracted you to it? Why did you love this show so much and get so invested?
I don't know, really. Like, I was 6 years old. I loved it. It was just different. It's different every week. And yeah, it's crazy, but my cats are attacking the place, sorry. What was I going to say? Yeah, it's crazy the fact that basically there's so much to do. You had cards, you had cards to collect. You also had all these figures coming out at the time, and it was everywhere. Doctor Who was everywhere, so you couldn't really escape that. But also the fact that it was the year when in primary school where everyone was trying to talk about it as well. Yeah. Like, you had trading cards to play with and swap. You also had all these figures, and it was just amazing time, to be fair.
I completely the same here. I remember at school when I was growing up, and people were talking about, especially when we had the big Stolen Earth cliffhanger with David Tennant regenerating. I remember people talking about it in school, and that's kind of what I miss about Doctor Who now. It doesn't feel like it has as much as an impact. But I would say I'm similar. I like Doctor Who because it's a bit of everything. You can be, it's all good. I could see your cat's attacking you there.
I'm gonna put them in the other room just because it's messy.
Yeah, that's fine, no problem. But yeah, so I kind of got into Doctor Who because it's a bit of everything. One week it can be historical, the next week it can be future, and yeah, it's a bit of everything, and the character of the Doctor is very interesting. The cat's there. So yeah, it's a bit of everything. Please let us know in the comments below. How did you get into Doctor Who? Why did you? Was it like us? Did your family member get you into it?
Cat free.
All good.
Yeah.
All good. I also feel we should mention you've got a really cool 14th Doctor cosplay as well there.
Yes, from Costaddy. Shout out to them. Yeah, I think it was like £200 just for the suit and the coat. But yeah,
it's expensive, but it looks like the real deal. It looks like the exact same costume.
Yeah, it's a waistcoat sort of thing going on. I can't do a tie, so I'm gonna have to do that when I get a Comic-Con.
Just do that way.
So that's the reason. But yeah.
So yeah, that's why I got into Doctor Who. It's basically just, it's about everything, you know. One week can be historical, the next week it can be in the future, you know. And the character of the Doctor is very fascinating. The concept of regeneration, they're a traveller, they kind of travel the universe. So yeah, that's how I'm into it. It's a bit of everything, really. It's one show filled with lots of shows in a way.
Yeah, also secretly watching Torchwood when you're not meant to as well. That I got into that earlier than I was meant to, and Sarah Jane Adventures. Every school time you'd run home and get to that, you know. So yeah, multiverse.
With Torchwood as well, I watched that when it first came out. So I would have been, I think I would have been about 9 years old. So yeah, you're meant to be 18 to watch Torchwood, but I still loved it growing up. What would you say is your favourite spin-off? Do you have a favourite of Sarah Jane and Torchwood?
It is Torchwood for me. Like, I just loved it. I watched it when I wasn't meant to, and all the other adult stuff just went through my head as a kid, but obviously pick up on it now. But yeah, I loved it. I thought my favourite episode is the wedding episode. I think that just sums up Torchwood so well. With Gwen getting married, and it's like a shapeshifter. That just symbolises Torchwood to me, like how crazy the plot is and everything. I just loved it. And yeah, Sarah Jane Adventures still, I remember just running home, 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock, getting home, watching that. Class hasn't really got an impact. It was just an iPlayer thing, but you know.
I've rewatched Class once, and all I can say is, at best, it's okay, but it's not up there with like Torchwood or Sarah Jane. I would probably say for myself, I do prefer Sarah Jane just a little bit more, but I think it's very close. I think Torchwood was also another great show, especially revisiting now, understanding of everything. And like you said, the wedding episode, I do remember that. That's one of the best episodes of it out there. And it is a shame that going forward, Russell has said recently, we're not going to get, like, I don't know if you've heard, we're not going to see like a children's spin-off in the foreseeable future. He's going to focus more on other areas. So it's a bit of a shame we're not going to get another Sarah Jane Adventures, but it was one of my favourite shows growing up. I loved Sarah Jane. She's an amazing character.
Yeah, the budget was sadly not there. I think he was saying it's like, I do get that it is a cheap aspect. You have to, this is just for kids, so they try and not do it as much, I guess. I don't know. But there was still abilities you don't know. But I think it is hard. Oh, am I back?
I think you're back now.
Is it back now?
Yeah, it's back now. But yeah, it makes sense. Like the BBC are having loads of budget cuts and they've got a limited budget. So I understand that, you know, CBBC, that's shutting down in 2 years anyway. So kind of just makes sense.
Yeah.
So with you, obviously we're both YouTubers. So what would you say got you into the side of YouTube? What made you convinced to give it a kind of go?
It's I guess unpopular opinion at the moment, but the Whovians, they got me in. I remember their first video of such. I remember them buying a DWM and it's celebrating the 50th anniversary, and I just loved it. And that's 2013. I got involved, big 50th anniversary. Everyone was talking about it, and I just loved that. I tried it, and it didn't work. I made the Titan comics. I tried reviewing them. There's a Go Doctor Who out there with like one subscriber somewhere. But,
somewhere out there.
Yeah, it didn't work. I did it for a week, gave up. Tried again in 2018 and continued. And here I am today. Them guys kind of inspired me to go to Comic-Cons, meet these celebs, them doing it. I was like, I'd love to do that, but I'd never have the courage to do that. And one day I was just like, screw it. And that's what I was like with YouTube, screw it and do it. because I have opinions. Why not? And it got me to
Yeah.
meet you, and of course, and other people. You know, I got to talk to you. There's someone else who's filming some stuff. I'm not allowed to say, but he's gave me some inside knowledge. I would have never got that if it weren't for YouTube. You know, it's like, it's interesting. It helps you in certain ways you don't realize.
I think, yeah, I would agree there. I think one of the best things with Doctor Who, especially throughout the Chris Chibnall era, is it does feel like the Doctor Who community has grown a lot. I think a lot of people turn to YouTube, especially during the lockdown and that kind of stuff. So I think the Doctor Who community as a whole is a really nice place to be, even on Twitter, on YouTube, on TikTok as well. For me personally, I was kind of similar, again, similar to you. I did YouTube when I was younger. I don't know if you've heard of Doctor Who figure adventures before. It's basically where you make your own Doctor Who stories with figures. I don't know if you've heard of them before.
I know certain people have done them before. Like,
Yeah.
I think Doctor Who Adventures, they did something like that as well.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure you're right. So I did that when I was younger. They're out on YouTube somewhere. They're not very good. They're kind of just forgotten about now. So I did that during the Matt Smith era, and that was my first introduction to YouTube. And then back in, I think it was just before Series 12 started, I decided, because I thought about it for a while, I'm quite a creative person, I thought, same as you, I'll go for it. I'll try a YouTube channel. And yeah, I just kind of started covering Series 12, did reviews, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, now I'm still doing YouTube to this day and kind of just still covering Doctor Who because it's quite fun making videos and putting my thoughts out there. It's something creative to do. I quite enjoy it.
Yeah, you smashed it. I think you're on like 5,000 or something now, is it? Or more? I don't
Somehow
know.
I'm there, yeah. Somehow I'm
Yeah.
at 5,000. Same with your TikTok. You're like massive
Yeah.
on TikTok. I've never got into that yet. I might do it one day. I'm not really sure how to get into it, but yeah, TikTok's a really big platform as well.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think 5,000 on TikTok's not as good. Like YouTube, it's hard. It's hard. I'm struggling to get to 1,000. I've still been there since 2018. You know, I'm nearly there. I got 150 to go, and then I'll be at 1,000. With TikTok, I don't know if you get the right algorithm or something, it just boosts you up. I think, yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's less hard to do in a way. I don't know, but either way, yeah, YouTube and TikTok are definitely something you can just put your mind to. I like to just do cosplay stuff and pretend to be David Tennant for a bit in a video or something like that, and it just helps. And YouTube wise, it's just something to get your mind. You've got an opinion, just let it go, and then see where it goes and what audience captures it, I guess. And yeah, it's great fun, and I don't know, it keeps you going, I guess, as a Doctor Who fan when it's not on air.
Exactly. I think there's benefits. You get to obviously be quite creative, share your thoughts. You get to talk to other Doctor Who fans like we've met each other. We know other Whotubers out there as well. And yeah, it's a really nice community.